Oh, that's a juicy roll. Set up the roll. Where's the Pango? Here he comes. Look at that. Oh, the damage. Oh my god. Yeah, this team fight's over. Offlane Medusa? My god. We're going to be watching a game today where Tundra stomps, and frankly, it's really funny. I was not dreaming. I was theory crafting last night, and what I theory crafted was Medusa offlane. The reason why I theory crafted it is Medusa safe lane is really broken. However, sometimes you can get counterpicked, and in that case, it might be a better idea to just put Medusa in the offlane. And that's exactly what 33 did. Now, his build is very odd and looks pretty cringe, but at the end of the day, Boots of Travel, he rushed Phylactery, which is so weird. Phylactery, Boots of Travel, Veil of Discord into Octarine Core. Ags, I would imagine he bought his shard, that would make a lot of sense. Boots of Travel 2, and then the game ended. Very weird game. So what they definitely did is they said, okay, our Medusa got counterpicked reasonably hard, which is kind of weird because it didn't even, this seems like a fine Medusa game. It's probably kind of bad against Slark because it's a diffusal hero that can also steal your stats. So I definitely think Slark is quite the Medusa counter. And let's actually see how this draft plays out because both teams end up with 2 carries, which is really funny. I've also had this theory this draft that because there's so much space on the map sometimes, like there's so many camps, not necessarily space because people can still take away the space if they play well, but there's so many camps on the map where basically you can maybe have 2 carries in some games. It's an option depending on how the game will play out. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like literally with the gameleap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the gameleap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. All right, in terms of the bans, we see they're not banning anything for the Medusa. They're straight up not banning for Medusa whatsoever. Well, I say that, they're not banning carries is what I was thinking. But they are, I mean, it's because they see the Slark, right? So I guess the Slark could then technically be offlane if you wanted it to be. I mean, Slark offlane is, it's really not that bad, like I'll be honest. It sounds insane, but it's really not that bad. Compared to all the heroes you could put offlane, like safe laners, it can be a utility hero because it can rush Vanguard and then kind of just like dead lane a lane. Like it can kind of just like place stupid areas of the map, give vision, deward hills right, with its ultimate, and then like buy a shard and be useful. Like you can buy auras, buy shard, and then like buy wraith bands at minute 25. And I don't know, I think it's not that bad. Either way, they go for the Grimstroke, so this is their Pango counter, and then they just go for the Naga bounty. So kind of just saying, okay, we're going to split up the map, we're going to play the pick-off style. It's pretty crazy that they just picked Naga here, considering they have counterpick. However, heroes that are banned out, it's kind of crazy, but the main counter to Naga, in my opinion, in this current meta is Underlord, but he's banned out first phase just because it's a meta hero. So they could Beastmaster. I think you're supposed to Beastmaster here. Unless you're afraid it's Naga. I guess technically this Naga is also flex if they wanted it to be, right? Because this could be still your safe laner. I mean, I don't think Slark is that unplayable, especially now that you have a Naga Siren. You can ulti to deal with the Slark ult. Naga Siren ulti counters Slark ult really hard. You have Rolling Thunder for Slark ult, so it's very easy to prevent the Slark from like running house on Medusa. But okay, they end up going for the Ember Spirit, which, yeah, okay, I mean, I get it. I personally think it's not that good. The reason why is I don't think Ember beats Pango that hard in lane. I used to think that. I think it wins slightly, and sometimes it can snowball from there. If you really outskill the guy, you can snowball the lane, but it's not that easy. I don't think Ember is actually good against Naga, and it's not good against Dusa at all. The reason why it's not good against Dusa is it doesn't provide a stun. Like, Pango is a hard Dusa counter, because it can chain stunner, it has mana burn, it can disarm her. Ember doesn't do shit to Dusa. She gets chained, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna stand here anyway, so what's next, right? Flame Guard doesn't matter. So Ember's really horrible against Dusa. I don't think Ember is that good against Pango, as I said. I don't think it's that good against Naga. I think on Naga's 3-item timing, it's actually an Ember counter. The Orchid is a big problem for Ember. He has to BKB it. He can die pre to the BKB if she buys an early Orchid. Bounty is going to scout you out. The only thing is, these are greedy heroes that don't necessarily kill Ember early, and I think that's why they're picking up the Ember here. Maybe they can kind of, you know, use this Inkswell plus a Snowballed Ember to run at these heroes that can't fight him early game. But the problem is, Ember doesn't gank Medusa well, unless maybe it's good enough with Slark and like a Grimswell. They could probably kill her if they have all of that at the same time. Final bans, we see offlaners banned out for Tundra, Legion, and Darkseer, so just trying to protect the Naga, which is really why I thought they would picked the offlaner here, but it seems like they just want to put the Slark offlane now, which, I mean, I guess you can, but I feel like you just put the Slark safe lane. I guess Medusa, I think Medusa offlane lanes well in the Slark, like unironically. I think it does, which is pretty funny. They go for the Veno last pick on the side of Tundra, which I don't even know what this is. This is such a hard to read draft from Tundra, because what you have to be thinking now is that maybe they're going to do some weird ass shenanigans where like Pango is laning with Medusa, Bounty Naga, and a mid Veno against Ember. Or they think it's oh, they might have pranked them as well, because SMG might have thought it was Medusa mid, because Medusa mid lanes well into Ember. It's like a pretty fine matchup. You can do quite well, and Ember doesn't pressure you. As far as I'm concerned, I think if you buy Bottle Lake, you're completely untouchable. Bottle Stick, you don't take any damage. So yeah, maybe they thought it was going to be Veno offlane, and so they picked this Luna, but like Medusa lanes fine into Luna. Like it's offlane Medusa, we know that because of we know that how it plays out. And Medusa lanes fine into the Luna. But no way they thought it was Medusa support, right? So yeah, no, they could have thought it was Medusa mid, I guess, and Pango support. This Tundra draft is impossible to read. You can make assumptions based on what their players tend to play. Like their Naga player is almost always Skeeter. I don't think I've seen them play Naga support, so you can kind of assume that is a core and gain information from that. But it's tough, man. Either way, we're going to be looking at, oh my gosh, look at the starting items. Bassy, Branch, Branch, Branch. This is definitely a stick hero, right? This is definitely a stick hero. I'd be shocked if he doesn't buy stick. He would have to be laning against something that gives no stick charges. What is he laning against? Slark? Slark does give literally no stick charges. And the Sage's Mask, funny enough, builds into Phylactery. So you actually want to buy this anyway as a Slark seemingly chasing Medusa. And yeah, look at this Medusa just hit the Slark. Oh my gosh. Mid one messed up already. He's just dead. Oh my gosh. Apparently this is what can happen in a lot of these matchups where you just get kited, and this bounty hero in lane is really strong because this invis, it catches people off guard. With the blood grenade, you actually have kill potential previously where you just wouldn't. Mid one just dies. He just forgets about the bounty hunter and just straight up dies. And I mean, I don't want to say that ruins the lane straight up, but now you go behind in a severe network deficit, you lose the first few creeps of the lane, and they're leaving this guy alone. But because of the fact that he died right away, he's behind a full level on almost both of the heroes and gets easily zoned out by a bounty hunter. And they're screwed. Like, this Slark is screwed. He's completely screwed. They try to bring the Rubik back now, but you've sacked the Slark for the first wave and he died. I mean, you're basically playing into a lane where you've already lost. Like, there's no way this guy fights at this point, right? He's already 2 levels behind, just dies straight up. Oh, God. Oh, man. This is not good. This is not good. He's actually rushing Phylactery on Medusa here. I feel like surely you just buy a wand anyway. It's too good on Medusa to not buy it. Wand is the most efficient mana item in the game in most scenarios, and this obviously makes sense on a hero like Medusa that just absorbs all damage as mana. So, wow, look at that Snake. I forgot Snake is more valuable than ever, right? Because the Snake gives you a ton of mana back if you hit a lot of targets, and your hero is completely based on mana now. If you don't understand Medusa, she has no strength, but she eats all the damage as mana, right? She just eats literally all the damage as mana. So, okay, they're gonna gank him here. Does this work? Oh my gosh, this is so sad. This is so sad to watch. And this is because of the fact that the early levels went so bad. If this Slark had any semblance of a game, and let's say he had like raindrops and a Wraith Band and maybe an Orb of Venom here, maybe this play works, right? Like perhaps you can get the job done here. Or even if he had like Ring of Health, I don't know. Like if he had something, maybe they could play the lane, but it's just terrible. And now you gank with your Grim, so you isolate your Luna. Now the Rubik is gonna have to TP bottom, so he's gonna have to commit TP. Oh my god, this is so hard to watch. They're just getting annihilated. They're literally just getting destroyed. Oh my gosh, and if you get this camp has 3 creeps with mana. So with level 2 Snake, you actually gain a lot of mana back from casting on that. Oh, and he dropped his Diadem to get extra mana from the Snake. That's really cool. If you throw the Snake with the stat items and then drop it, as the Snake comes back, you get more mana back. Wow, look at that. That's so cool. And he's back to full mana, and now he's going to have this Phylactery. And the earlier you get this item, the more broken it is. If you don't know how this item works, I'll explain it to you guys real quick. So the Phylactery gives you really good stats, but that's mostly just from Diadem. So it's not... but it's solid stats because it builds from pretty useful items. Gives you mana regen, which is from the Sage's Mask. 7 at all attributes, which is +1 from the Diadem. And then it gives you 200 health and 200 mana, which is quite a bit more than the point boosters. Okay, it's not. It's 25 more. So it gives you a little bit of boost in stats from each thing. Not crazy. But then every single time you nuke, you do an extra 150 bonus damage and you slow them for 50% per 1.5 seconds, which is actually a big slow. It's like very significant. So if you get this item early, it just makes your snake hit like a truck. And yeah, I mean, the Slark's just screwed. Like, you can see why this game ends very quickly. It's like a complete stomp. I mean, this Medusa is complete free farm. It's going to be almost impossible for them to kill her because they have an Ember mid who does not threaten Medusa. So your mid laner is not a Medusa counter. And the game gets really, really, really hard. The game gets so hard. Look at him dive. So you can see this is the phylactery coming into play. It's just too much damage. Like, if you get it this early, like, obviously he's having the god game. I feel like you can get it earlier depending on the starting items you buy. I mean, probably if you're going Magic Wand, which you should be in a lot of lanes, then perhaps not. You're not getting it this early. But let's say you get it around minute 8 is probably a good timing on average. It's still really strong. It's going to be really, really strong. Because he has boots on top of this, right? So yeah, he has more of the items than he even needs. He's got boots. But like, look at this, right? Just throws the snake and look at that damage. That's just an extra 150 damage. It just makes it look broken. And it kind of is insane, right? Like, look, the mid one's like, oh, there's no way that he's allowed to do this. But unfortunately, he is allowed to do this. They can't touch him at all. And every single one of these snakes heals him up. The phylactery is just completely pulling them out. And I mean, this is going to make Medusa offlane look way more broken than it is. It is not this broken by any means. So I do not want to, I don't want to say that that's true. It's not. It's certainly not this broken, but now he has maxed out snake, 10-second cooldown, really low cooldown. It gives you 22% of mana. It does 220 base damage. It increases damage per jump a lot. 35% damage increase per jump. Wow, that's so much. So he will end up going down here, and I honestly will say, I think if he just bought, I really can't fathom why he doesn't have a magic wand. I genuinely just cannot understand why you would not buy magic wand on Medusa. Like, I mean, come on. I feel like he just lives here if he has magic wand. I feel like if you have magic wand, you just run straight down and you're fine. I really can't understand why he didn't buy one. He's just going full greed. Like, he's like, oh, I'm untouchable anyway. I'm not going to buy any small item, but magic wand is too good, guys. Please don't skip it. That's my take. Your mana pool is huge, but I just think it's not, especially considering he has 3 branches already. Like, it's really stat efficient as well because it would let him swap in this last branch too. So that damage is crazy. I'm gonna try to gank him here with the Ember, but as I said, Ember is not a Medusa killer, and we see that very quickly. Ugh, God. Okay. It just makes the enemy team look like bots because people don't understand this Medusa hero either, right? They go on her and they're like, oh yeah, she's killable. She's not killable. She's very not killable. They overbuffed this hero, they really did. She got completely overbuffed, to be blunt. She was like not good, and then they just gave her like buff. And, okay, let me be real. She was okay in the right game, and now she's just broken. Like, this Medusa hero is completely broken. It farms way too fast on the current map, and he's completely maxing mana shield as well. The problem is they made the damage per mana increase way too high. Like, at max level, this ability is just insane. Also, it works on your mantas now. So like the mantas have mana shield and they take no damage. So at this point, I mean, he probably should have a point in Q. I feel like 0 points in Q is kind of insane just because it, like, even 1 point helps you farm. They buffed the Q by 10% at all levels as well, which is disgusting. Oh, and he's buying Veil. Yeah, so that's where the Bassi comes into play. I thought it was going to be a casual Bassi. That would have made sense too, but pushing in the lane. So really he's like playing up on the map. You can see they're almost looking to, they're going to run the Naga up the hill as they're going to Song. So they're going to look to take this fight. Who do you lead with on the roll? Okay, they lead with onto the Ember, and wow, they burst him. I didn't think they'd be able to be honest. He's pretty tanky. Wow, they actually bursted Ember. Sheesh. And at this point, I mean, the bots are kind of goofy. I feel like you could honestly go phylactery into just normal carry items, and that's like super legit. Like, I think there's no reason why you can't buy this phylactery item so you're unkillable, ungankable, and you can put pressure on heroes, and then after that, you can kind of scale to just a right-click build, because there's plenty of space on the map, especially in pubs. There's plenty of space on the map. You easily could have 2 carries. Maybe in pro games, he just feels like, I want to be active. I want to have movement speed. I just want to move around, clear the waves, and then, you know, cut off the map. And I think that's kind of what they're looking for here. As you can see there. Yeah, so he's going to bots top, pushing the top wave. Maybe they put some pressure on this tier 2. Probably not. I don't think you put any tier 2 pressure in this meta unless you really can. It's too hard. The glyph's too strong. Kind of like last patch. I mean, last patch there was more unit heroes and so on, so you could. Oh yeah, he queues up the shard. It's a really good shard game. There's a lot of targeted spells. There's a Lucent Beam. There's Phantom's Embrace. There's Fade Bolt. So you're probably gonna proc your shard. So I could see him buying this. But yeah, he's actually just clearing the waves and leaving the jungle to Naga. That seems to be the idea. He's unkillable. He's almost like an Underlord where he's so hard to kill. Is this gonna work? Pops a Stone Gaze. No, he's fine. Boy. Yeah. So this is his job. He's assumed it's cool, man. It's very cool. He's assumed the job of Crimson Doom, a Pipe Doom, an Underlord Crimson, of the guy who's going to run down the lane, and if you try to gank him, you're going to get counter ganked. And that's what they're doing, and it's obviously very effective as Veno is solo killing Ember. Tries with the snake, misses it, but okay, they might take down 9 here. They're going to try. They're probably going to lose all their heroes for it, maybe. As mid one looking to man up on the Medusa, but it's actually not close at all. Okay, no, they actually win the fight. Wow, nice job, SMG. They actually own them there. What happened? Naga's just not here? Does Naga not have TP? Oh, she does. Oh, she just didn't want to TP. Guess she's a little low on mana, but yeah, they chased really far. Maybe the Naga could have TP, because it probably would have won this fight with her. I don't know how sold I am on this build. I mean, I will say, like, these items make you really tanky, and, like, it kind of makes sense for him to amp magic damage with Veil this game, but, like, not that much. I mean, their magic damage isn't that great, to be honest. It's okay, but it's not that fantastic. So I'm actually not a huge fan of his build. I feel like he could have optimized it in some other way. I don't know exactly what he could have bought to make this look perfect in my eyes. I just don't think, like, I'm a huge fan of Veil, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's that useful this game. Oh, they leash up the Penguin, they actually take him down. Nice stuff. They buy back the Ember though. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind, not nice stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, the goal of this Naga is to just run down lanes and bait them to go on you. And that's what he did. And if pros fall for it, everyone's gonna fall for it. Because people will think they can kill you. It's up to you to know whether or not you're tanky enough and to react fast enough with... Oh, he took Broom Handle? Why did he take Broom Handle? Oh, I guess flat damage is good on Medusa, right? All right, team fight breaking out here. He's gonna look for the snake, as it kind of doesn't hit anyone he would have really wanted, unfortunately. As he picks up the Dragon Scale as well, just amping up his magic damage a little bit, I guess. As SMG actually ends up taking a pretty good fight here, but the Naga is just too strong at this point, and I mean, the Medusa is, like, ridiculous. And now with the Boots of Travel, Bots Octarine is a 33 classic, man. This is a Bots Octarine. It's some crazy stuff. Very, very crazy stuff. Okay, fight breaks out. This song into Penguin roll is actually owning them. It wouldn't be nearly as good if they had BKBs, but they're so poor. Yeah, they don't have BKB on. And the Ember is having to go Yules just because he's so poor. Yeah, this game is so over. So he's going Dagon on Dusa next, which is funny. Dagon gives Spell Ice Steal now, and a lot of it. So you can buy it on these magic builds late, and it actually rounds out builds better than it ever has. So Dagon's actually a cool item, and it gives a lot of all stats, which is good for Dusa. So yeah, he's completely untouchable. Dragon Scale to also help to take the towers is pretty cool. Low cooldown on the Flak 3 Snake as well. Look at that damage. He actually didn't buy a shard. I don't know. I really feel like he could have just went normal items and it would have looked better than this shit, but like, I kind of feel that way. Or maybe there's something that makes him more tanky than this. I honestly would have liked the shard a lot. I feel like the shard would have made sense for his, like, run down side lanes and get gone on build. I definitely feel like the shard would have been really good because it's really good with Octarine as well, right? So he changes his mind, he goes Ags. So if you go Ags, you go Shard. It's as simple as that. If he doesn't go Shard with Ags, he's insane, right? Because I'm pretty sure it synergizes, right? Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to end the video there because at this point I have a feeling they're just going to group up, take Roche, and then go high ground. And with the 23k lead, I have a feeling there's not much the enemy team can do about it. There's Medusa with double your carries, Naga with double your carries net worth, and that is going to make the game very difficult to play. Also, these fruit things are really good on Medusa too. I wonder if he'll take it over Windlace, because it gives you mana and HP, right? So it just makes you, once again, unkillable. Just insane. Yeah, they're going to go for the Roche. He's just bodying the smoke. You see where he's standing here? He's expecting the smoke to come in from SMG, so he's just bodying it, because he understands his job is just to stand in front, and if he gets gone on, just eat it. Right? Just eat the team fight. As fight breaks out, they actually bump into the Naga. Oh, that's a juicy roll. Set up the roll. Where's the Pango? Here he comes. Look at that. Oh, the damage. Oh my god. Yeah, this team fight's over. This team fight is over. The Stone Gaze. And the thing is, Stone Gaze is a good offlane ability too, right? It's just like a good team fight spell. This Medusa hero is not bad as an offlaner. No cap. It can buy aura items too. Honestly, I could see a Medusa with just aura items being not terrible. The only problem is Medusa with aura items might not have that much impact in team fights. But like, I don't feel like this build is like that good in team fights. Like, it lets you TP around the map a lot, but I don't feel like Octarine increases your damage that much. It makes you stupid tanky because it gives you a terrible amount of HP and mana. It makes you really, really tanky, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned quite a bit about why this hero can be an offlaner. Obviously, he got off to an incredible start, but frankly, he would have had a lot of impact without having this god start. And I don't think they drafted offlane Medusa with the thought process of, we're going to, he's going to 1v9, right? He's going to get off this incredible start and go 11-1. I don't think they picked it with that mindset. I think they picked it because it's just like solid. But okay, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.